Hi everyone, and I always wanted to record a second, well I want to record many videos about loving somebody with MS, and I'm happy to be here with Missy Jenn today, and it's the last day of my visit, and we wanted to address some of the other topics of loving someone with MS. And as you know, Missy Jenn has multiple sclerosis, and she deals with that on a day-to-day basis, and you've put up videos on your channel, and thanks for being here today. But today I wanted to talk to Missy Jenn about the whole idea of motivation and staying motivated when you have something like MS, because I sense that a lot of people often give up hope and they look down the road and they see a very bleak future for themselves, but other people, through God and through relationships, they have a sense of hope that I think gets them a lot of extra time, and maybe in some cases some turnaround in their symptoms. So one of the things that I wanted to ask Jen was, how do you maintain hope, and what has your journey been in terms of how you felt about hope along the way and things like that?
Well, in the beginning I thought there was no hope left because I was written off as being in the wheelchair for good, and I proved them wrong. I'm always somebody that will try to go the opposite when somebody, just stamps you off as something, puts this label on you, you're finished. That gave me the motivation to say, I'm not finished. I still have something in the can.
Would you say when you have something like MS, it's easy for doctors to begin categorizing patients and saying, oh, well, there's not a lot I can do for you? Would you think it's fair to say that they really miss the motivation of the human and their own ability to define their own disability and their own willingness to fight back and move forward? Like, they wrote you off and said you'd never walk again.
I had my primary care physician that basically said, try to be as active as possible, try to walk as much as you can when you can. If you don't use it, you lose it. So as you are getting less and less active, you will lose muscle mass, muscle tone, and so that in itself brings then an additional
it can start a spiral.
Right, it just spirals down even more so. It's not just the MS itself, but the lack of activity.
Exactly. Well, her heater's going to kick on, but we're going to work right over that right here, because I think it's a very interesting topic, and I don't want to stop it. There's also a point where, you see your life is sort of defined, and then does it help when people come into your life and suddenly, is it rejuvenating to you to feel
Absolutely,
like,
yes.
that you have love and things like that? Because we've talked about therapies like water therapy, being able to hit a pool and to do some leg exercises, and it's really nice that Jen is willing. You're willing to do anything.
I'm willing to do anything.
You're willing to take the pain. You're willing to, believe me, sometimes there's some pain, and it's painful for me to watch sometimes. But when I say, like, when we talked about spasms, and she'll get terrible spasms and your muscles contracting and letting them contracting again, and it's very uncomfortable. It's painful. But she was willing to try the magnesium that helped me out when I had my terrible leg cramps, and doing some research. So I never had to twist her arm and beg her to do different things, which I think is fantastic. So staying motivated with MS.
I think my main goal has always been to be self-sufficient as long as possible, because I've always been self-sufficient ever since I left my parents' house, and I've taken pride in that.
And I think it would be easy for me to say, oh, don't worry, I'll wheel you around, I'll do whatever needs to be, I'll do anything. bathe you, do all this stuff, but she knows that the more, and I know too, the more that she does for herself, the more she's going to be holding off the symptoms of MS and possibly regaining some ground too and moving the other way. So I think from my point of view, I feel like I can be a great motivating force for Jen, for sort of, it's almost like a coach, right? You called me like a coach. Yeah,
right.
like a coach, like I'm going to be not a drill sergeant, but a coach saying, gee, we got to go out and do some walking, we got to walk the dogs, we got to do some water therapy stuff and all that. 'Cause you might think, oh, I'm comfortable, I'm watching them, I'm doing this or doing that, but it's for your own benefit and all that. And it also makes me feel good because I'm more involved in the treatment instead of just sitting there as like a third-party person watching a movie occur. I'm actually there affecting the outcome of the movie and all that. So, okay, so the point of this vid is just that I think motivation and finding motivation, and for us finding love and all that is just, I've sensed the way you glowed the last couple months when you stand up and do your vids.
To continue trying to be as happy as possible, not just for myself but also for others like Rosie and for you all here on YouTube as well, so I can continue to make videos for my channel, we'll make videos on the Trans Life Feline channel, have our own channel, and entertain and educate.
And Missy, I just know how much joy that gives you to do the vids and things, and how much you like to be, well, I know how much you like to be on camera. You are certainly beautiful on camera, but to have that motivation and to have that someone that I think can be a coach and I think can keep you motivated with MS, I personally believe that you can push back against the symptoms quite a lot. Might be some pain and some other things, but part of a cure and part of being able to maybe not cure the symptoms but keep things from progressing, part of it is your willingness to fight back and not just sit there.
You always have to be in fighter mode.
Exactly. Well, you're awesome as usual, and thanks again everybody for watching, and I hope to continue this series with Jen, and probably the next one when I'm coming out to get her to move out to California. But I want everybody to keep abreast of what's going on in our own battles with MS, because it's not just her battle now, it's both of ours. So, okay, well, thanks for watching today, and always appreciate you being on the channel. Thank you very much.